All right, we are live 2 minutes, a minute and a half early on Facebook, but I want to just make sure that that was working before we dive in. So welcome as you're joining. Say hello in the comments, in the chat. How's everybody doing? If you're on Facebook, say hello. I'm gonna check and make sure everybody's there.
I'll drink clip.
My mom invited Kevin over.
Checking. Ah, we are live. Yay. I always love making sure that that's working. How's everybody tonight?
Good.
We got a lot to cover tonight. So as soon as it hits 7:30, I am diving in. Oh man, hopefully my technical ability works too. Text your people if you don't see them on yet. Text your people, send them the link, make sure they know to get on and watch, be a part of this. All right, it is 7:30, so I am gonna dive in right away. I'm sitting out on my front porch because I just cannot help but soak up every last second of the warm weather because I don't know about y'all, I'm not a winter fan. I love warm weather. My name is Amy Dippold. I am a Pro 6 out of Des Moines, Iowa. And I am going to be sharing week 8 with you guys in the 10X homework. I hope that you are staying engaged. If you're falling behind, it's okay. If you're live on Facebook, if you haven't turned in your homework yet, that's fine. Yes, turn in your homework. It's good, or life work. It's going to bless you and it's going to push you. And it's just going to get a little bit, you're going to get more and more stretching going on, but you can still do this. And so I just appreciate you showing up and joining us tonight. Because we have so many things to go through today, I'm going to hop right into one person big difference announcements for everybody, just so that we can be on the same page of all the exciting things going. And quite honestly, I haven't even looked at these announcements yet, so we're going to go through them together. I know them, but I'm just, there's a lot of great stuff happening, and we just got to stay on top of that. So shout out to Michelle Voris. She makes these incredible PowerPoint slides, and I just adore her and her abilities to do these things because it would take me hours. So, well, this is me, and that's my husband, Grant. Thank you for being here. And then we have Megan and Corey, and look at their beautiful kids.
Just quick. Are you there?
Oops.
Oh, I thought I lost you. Okay.
I'm going to mute all. Hopefully okay, there we go. And they're going to be helping with the review of this last week's homework. So that'll be really, really great, guys, to stay on and go through that together. Let's see if I can get this. Okay, here we go.
She's so cute.
This week's training, we got today is Monday. I've already got my days mixed up. Flip the switch opportunity call. This is to get your guests on. We have an Elite Pro 8. Michelle Scaff speaking at 7 p.m. Mountain, 8 Central. It's going to be on the official LifeVantage Facebook page. So definitely follow that page. LifeVantage is really stepping up their social media game, and they're announcing and doing lives and all of these promos. This entire week is going to be announcements all week of some great promos happening. So be on that Facebook page, and I have it highlighted when I go into my phone that I see it first. So that one person big difference in my own small private team page, those are all, I see those first. And so definitely be on there and get your people on these opportunity calls. ITT over and over again. If you have so endless opportunities to get people in front of this information and not be the message, but get them to the message, right, guys? Then Thursday, we have Kathleen Troust. I mean, this woman has an incredible background. She's an incredible speaker. These shareables are going to always be posted on Telegram, so you can save the shareable and you can send it to your guests. I'm telling you, I was just on my team huddle, and we have a meeting coming to Des Moines, Iowa this Thursday, where we have 2 Pro 10s flying into Des Moines. Oh my gosh, it's a dream come true. But we were talking about, like, we're checking in with people that we've been following up with for 4 years. We've been inviting them to something, and they're finally coming. You never know when somebody's going to get in front of this information, but be the person that gets them the invite, get a yes or a no, show up with them, talk to them right away. It's exciting. This is how we do this business, right? LifeVantage Academy is coming up on the 18th. You have a ton of options. This is incredible. I'm so thankful that this is coming back. This pours life into us. Look at those locations. But if you cannot get to those, definitely register for the virtual. I know it feels like, oh, you know, another training. No, like this is how we got. If you want to get to where your leaders are, you have to do what they did. And I'm telling you, I would not be sitting here training you right now if I didn't make LifeVantage Academy my priority every single month. It's like non-negotiable. And I had to drive 4 hours one way, four and a half, almost 5 hours one way to get there. Okay, then global convention. Woo, guys, this is it. This is it. If you have not been to a live event yet, just drop it in the comments. If you have not been able to experience LifeVantage in person yet, tell us you're too new to have experienced it because of the last year and a half of shutdowns. Make every effort to make this happen. I know it just seems like a lot, but this is where those brick walls that are standing in your way come down, where you have those breakthroughs, where your life changes. I'm not hyping this. I didn't know until I knew, so I'm just passing it on to you. Get registered, reach out to somebody if you have questions and you just really like, I don't understand how this is gonna work. They will help you make this work, okay? Just know this is gonna be on your top priority. We have this incredible month of earning extra incentive points. This has never been done before, but LifeVantage is just really doing awesome at stepping up and making sure that people have every opportunity to get on the next trip, which the next trip is a bucket list trip. It's going to be amazing. You're going to wish you had worked harder. So every time you start somebody on one of the distributor packs, you're going to get triple the points. You can track it on this tracker. You can go to the Telegram group and it should be in the files. It's posted everywhere. If you can't find it, just ask your upline. They will get it to you, okay? Performance Club. Who's in Performance Club? Guys, this is my baseline each month. I encourage you, while we're doing this 10X work, this is all helping you get to something like Performance Club, which is 2 new enrollments, a customer or a distributor, and 100 new PV combined. So 2 orders of that, one person orders Axio, another person orders Axio, boom, you're in Performance Club. It's very, very doable. I just want you to know, as we talk about all these things, and I'm flying through these announcements because I have a lot of info to cover after this, but just know that we don't know where you're at unless you reach out and tell your people where you're at, right? We want to help those who have that desire. If you have this burning desire, if you have a little bit of FOMO, if you have some feelings of uncertainty, or you're just trying to figure this out, reach up. We're going to guide you through it. And honestly, we overcomplicate everything. Everything that we talk about with these promotions, with these trips, it's all bringing us back to the simple foundational building blocks of how to do this business. And when you do the ITT, if you actually print out the ITT form from the launch guide every month and do 25 through that ITT every single month, you're going to get things like Performance Club because you're using the team, which is going to help you close. You're getting 25 new exposures every month. And then you're going to hit something called the bonus pool. I didn't think I could, honestly, when they came out with this, I was like, well, I've never done that before, so I don't know if I can do that. And then I started hitting it because we start to raise our belief lid, right? We go back to what we did with 10X. You start to raise your belief lid. You start to get intentional. You start to be operationally effective. That's what we did this last week, right? And you start realizing, oh, I'm not in that quadrant. I need to get there because I want that result. And that's what all of these things are doing. This is incredible. The LifeVantage Legacy, if you haven't heard, if you haven't seen, every dollar that we're donating is being matched this month to go to the hurricane victims. And they've been going to, there's some great videos of people in our LifeVantage family and the support and the outpouring of love that they are receiving. And we're directly impacting those lives. It's just incredible. It's absolutely amazing. So, I zoomed through those and I hope that you guys still got them. Good thumbs up if those were good. If you have questions, you have people to reach out to. Okay, cool. Whew. All right, 100% match. Yes, sorry, I think I thought that and didn't say it. Every dollar you donate, LifeVantage matches this month. So literally 1 for 1, like that's amazing that we're giving back so much. We already, woo, 5 for 500s. Awesome. Okay, without further ado, we want to dive into this incredible 10X home work. I need to make sure, sorry guys, I need to make sure I have my, I gotta get my screen figured out here. Here we go. We have 3 different videos that we are going to be watching tonight. And then you're going to have access to those transcripts, okay? Make sure this is week 8. We are in week 8, customers, self-reflection, and personas. And I want you to know we're going to watch these videos. You're going to have direct access to the transcript of that video, and you're going to have the activity to work on this week. Okay, there's going to be 3 of them. So I'm going to start with this very first one, and we're just going to dive right in.
Let's talk about the significance of the customer life cycle. This concept is centered around the end-to-end process of customer engagement with the business. If we break down the customer journey, there are 3 focus areas in the business we take a close look at. Those 3 areas are flow, conversion, and retention. We refer to these areas as levers in the business because each one has the ability to contribute to or detract from customer experience simply by executing or not executing certain processes associated with each lever. Quite simply, think of each lever like the pedals in a car. Step on the gas pedal to move the car forward, or step on the brake to stop the car from moving at all. Each lever can either move things forward or stop things dead in their track. And while the business will ultimately decide what processes create each of the levers, the employees are the ones moving the lever forward or pulling back at any given time with the customers. Let's talk about these levers and how you can be a 10X contributor to each of them. The first lever is flow. This lever is all about the things you do to get customers to flow into your sales funnel. Whether it's bringing people in your door, engaging with your social media or website, or engaging them to pick up the phone and have a conversation. Each of these efforts help gain attention from those customers. The lever for flow is comprised of tactics, programs, and initiatives that generate maximum flow into the business. And you should always be asking yourself, how are you contributing to the flow of the business? The second lever is conversion. Once people are engaging with your business through flow, the next focus is on conversion. Conversion simply refers to the act of doing business with them in a way where they appreciate, respect, and buy what you're offering. The conversion lever is comprised of the sales process that discovers the needs of the customer and then matches those needs to a product your business is selling. Converting these customers is essential to ensuring you're maximizing all efforts from the flow lever. The third lever is retention. Once a customer has been converted, the next focus is to retain them. This is centered around creating repeat business with the customer because they felt there was a vastly different and unique experience with your company, and they trust that they'll experience that again. As a bonus, those retained customers would then refer additional business because of that established trust, thus funneling new business into the flow lever, perpetuating the cycle of attracting and retaining customers. This is the example of a well-executed customer life cycle. How do you contribute to this concept? First of all, as a 10X employee, you should be able to identify the most significant and highly valuable customer touchpoints in any of the 3 levers of the life cycle. It's in these high-value touchpoints where the biggest opportunity for impact exists. Start off by identifying where your position or role overlaps certain touchpoints in each of the levers. Determine if the touchpoint has a best practice approach associated with it. If so, is it documented? If not, are you the person to document it? Additionally, are there key performance metrics associated with the process that can be measured to determine if it's truly effective or not? If not, could you be the person to help design intentional if you understand the overall structure of the business's customer life cycle, if you can thoroughly understand the 3 levers of flow, conversion, and retention, and if you can clearly articulate ways to innovate and enhance each of these areas, then you will be well on your way to contributing to the customer life cycle and furthering your development as a 10X employee.
When we break down the customer journey, there are 3 focus areas in the business we see: flow, conversion, and retention. We refer to those areas as levers in the business because each one of them has the ability to contribute to or detract from the overall customer experience with the business. In this activity, we'll help you answer the questions: how do you contribute to flow, conversion, and retention? You'll identify the most significant and highly valuable customer touchpoints your role plays within any of the 3 levers of the life cycle. Number 1, identify where your position or role overlaps certain touchpoints in each of the levers. Number 2, determine if the touchpoint has a best practice approach associated with it. And number 3, what are the key performance metrics associated with the process that can be measured to determine if it's truly effective or not? If there are any questions you are unable to answer, identify and write down those areas of opportunity and work with your business owner to determine how to operationalize those areas to create the greatest impact as you become a 10X employee.
Okay, I love that first one because it's just like, it really talks about, that flow is how are we going out and gathering our customers, right? This is network marketing. We can't do this without a network. We have to be meeting people. We have to be connecting with people. And so as you're doing this, I would really just encourage you, how can you take our very basic, simple system and really get it solidified into your head and what your role is in following that without having to reinvent the wheel? The beautiful thing is we can do this and really figure out like how we fit into each of these and how we're doing this to fit like our personality without having to change the system. And so as we're going through this, like that flow, guys, when you go to the grocery store, when you are having, I have become over the years a lot better at just connecting with random strangers wherever I'm at, having a very simple icebreaker and like conversation with them. And like, somehow we just get to this place from like, oh yeah, like I actually have something that might help with that. Do you want to exchange information? And getting their phone number. I'm constantly putting people in that funnel through that flow, just through simple flow. And the other way that I really love to do it is social media. Michelle Forrest did it in the grocery store. Yeah, that's so true. I have so many great, like you can't, this last year and a half, I've kind of been able to go out and I'm like, oh, you're my people. Like we kind of jive. We like have this vibe and I'm like, we can connect. And so I've been in groups and on social media, doing a lot more groups, and really like every time I do something in a specific group, I have people friend requesting me. And it's just something very simple. It's nothing salesy. It actually has nothing to do with our business. And that's always adding to my funnel. And then I drip, 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 bam, let's do this. And then I'm in that conversion mode of, hey, we've been talking about this. Would you like to see what I do? And then I'm converting them by inviting them, right? So getting that relational stuff's going, getting into the invite mode, and then starting them in the ITT system. It really is that simple. So as you go through your homework this week, start writing down, if you can get them in that or that conversion, how are you doing that? Are you being systematic about it? I love the comments that I'm starting to see. Are you actually being intentional about setting up an appointment? Like if I send this to you, will you watch it? Okay, great, I'm gonna call you. How are we doing that? I would really encourage you to go through and see what roles are you playing in these levers, and then how are you retaining people once they're in? We can't just get people in and then just expect them to be sold right away. We have to take care of our people, right? And then talking about like, okay, start Rolodexing, like, where do I go for my information? Are we all using the same system? This is something we need to be talking about with our teams with, if you're reaching up and being like, okay, I might not know where to find this. Where do I go? And you can start getting this system figured out. And then measuring it. What you track grows. Guys, I struggle with tracking things. And I would probably have like 12 different notebooks where I started tracking different things. I'm getting better, I promise. But I'm telling you, I can't imagine how much better this entire process would have been for me if I had tracked it a long time ago. And so I encourage you to start now and don't wait. So with that, I'm going to jump into the next section. This is great, right? ITT, do a T. Like, how are we doing this simple process? How are we connecting with people? How are we getting them in the funnel? Next step is to reflect on ourselves. Oh, that's gonna be fun. Okay, I'm gonna start playing the next video. And let's see here if I can get it going. That's hold on one second, guys, sorry. I honestly don't know how to get out of this. There we go. Next video. Bear with me. Self-reflection time.
There's plenty of evidence to suggest what many of the greatest leaders have always known. You can influence other people to behave in certain ways, but you only have control over yourself. This is a powerful distinction. If the only control you have in this world is how you think, speak, and act, then the art of self-reflection should be the epicenter when it comes to making any and all of your decisions, personally and professionally. What is self-reflection? Self-reflection is a humbling yet powerful technique that can help you to improve your overall performance. But let's not underplay the fact that it can be a tough process. It makes you take an honest look at yourself, from your strengths and weaknesses, your areas that require improvement, and then you chart a path of how you should work to grow and develop in the coming weeks, months, and years. It's a critical look at how much self-confidence you truly possess. Grant Cardone says, self-confidence is the only outfit you can't buy. You must develop it. Many people talk good game, but let's face it, none of us like to admit it when we're wrong, or that we could have approached or done something better. The process of self-reflection is uncomfortable, but much like exercising, it offers countless benefits and actually becomes easier and enjoyable over time. We must develop it. Why is self-reflection important? It's important because anything worth doing begins with knowing what you're doing, why you're doing it, and then how you're going to make it happen. This is how you build your self-confidence. No matter how busy I find myself, I always take at least 5 minutes each day for self-reflection, and I try to increase that time on weekends and even holidays. It can seem like a passive exercise, almost self-indulgent, but I know the impact it will have for me overall. The reason it has such a significant impact is because of the lens that I view my self-reflection through. I don't just look at the last 5 minutes, the previous day, last week, etc. Instead, I view it through the lens of my past self, the lens of my present self, and the lens of my future self. By taking a look at myself through these 3 different perspectives, I can see the full picture of what I've done, how it's worked, and then translate it to my current frame of mind and how I'm thinking and feeling. Ultimately, I prepare for how I want to act and do things moving forward. This process is significant in building my self-confidence. So let's break down the 3 points of self-reflection. Past self is otherwise known as looking in the past at how you thought, what you did, and determining ways to avoid repeating any potential mistakes that have been made. Have you ever thought to yourself, I wish I could change the words I used, or if I could go back in time, I'd do things differently, or if I only knew then what I know now? If the answer is yes to any or all of these, then you've experienced yourself through the lens of past self-reflection. This is a critical component of self-reflection because it's this lens of reflection where we truly learn what worked and what didn't, which provides us with the experiences that ultimately lead to wisdom. But it's not going to be the lens that helps you in your current moment. That's where the lens of present self-reflection comes in. Present self is utilizing your past experiences, analyzing the state of your current mindset, and assessing the best decision for thinking and doing in the present moment. Acting in the present is all you truly have. You can't change the past, and the future hasn't happened yet. So being highly aware and intentional with this notion will give you the freedom and space to focus on the right now. Ask yourself in this moment, am I allowing things that I can control to stress me out? Have I allowed myself enough space and time to achieve the things I want to achieve? Am I on track to accomplishing my goals? This is your present self-reflection. And if you answered no to any of those questions, you must now make the choice to alter whatever it is that you're thinking and doing in this moment in order to alter what happens next. And what is that thing that happens next? It's your future self, which is essential for creating the vision of who you truly want to become. Your future self is a manifestation, a visualization of what you want yourself to be thinking like, acting like, the person you ultimately want to become. For a 10X employee, their future self is laser focused on exactly how they will perform and contribute to the business and its mission, vision, and values. They will look at their past self, identify the areas of greatest impact, decide in the present how they want to leverage that impact, and make choices based upon who they believe they'll become via their future self. To truly understand how to contribute at 10X levels, you have to be able to ask yourself deliberate, pointed questions. And you have to answer those questions honestly. They're designed to give you insight into yourself and the impact you want to make by truly understanding what you're doing, why you're doing it, and how you're going to move forward. In order for self-reflection to be effective, you must view yourself through the 3 lenses, fully aware that you may come across some uncomfortable truths. Don't run from this opportunity. Embrace it. Face up to your shortcomings and make a commitment to yourself to grow from them. If you see yourself like a 10X employee, it won't be long before you find yourself becoming one.
Self-reflection is a humbling yet powerful technique that can help you improve your overall performance. The process of self-reflection is uncomfortable, but much like exercising, it offers countless benefits and actually becomes easier and enjoyable over time. We must develop it. This is important because anything worth doing begins with knowing what you're doing, why you're doing it, and then how you're going to make it happen. This is how you build your self-confidence. As Grant Cardone says, self-confidence is the only outfit you can't buy. You must develop it. To truly understand how to contribute at 10X levels, you have to be able to ask yourself deliberate and pointed questions. And you have to be able to answer those questions honestly. In this activity, take the time to reflect with each of the question sets and determine how you will utilize the answers to create the complete picture of yourself in each of the 3 lenses. Next, write down your key takeaways that pose the biggest challenge with your thinking. Finally, document any aha moments where you validated your current mode of operation.
There we go. Trying to shut those videos down is not fun. Okay, and that, I love that, guys. Again, like keeping it simple, you're gonna just reflect. Take time this week to just sit down and really reflect and sit on this. You can reread through the transcripts, you can highlight it. If you print these out, like Michelle posted, they are in Telegram, they are in the guide. It's absolutely incredible. But just reflect, like as I'm listening to that again for probably the 3rd time, I'm like, my goodness, when I was new in this business, I think I scared more people away because I just word vomited all over them instead of asking the questions. I wish I would have done that differently. And there have been people where I have had to go back to and be like, I'm so sorry. I was ignorance on fire and I was so passionate and I said all the wrong things. Would you give me a second chance? because they watched me. They watched me not give up. And I'm telling you, a lot of people that say no when you get started are watching to see if you're going to give up. Like, you just need to know that. But I would tell myself, even in the present, I struggle with the organization of things. I struggle with, when I'm planning and coordinating, it consumes my mind, and I struggle with being able to time block effectively, because my brain is still going to be in another zone, even though I've blocked time to do something else. And I really, really, really still struggle with that. And I think a lot of it is the belief lid of my future self and what I actually and truly am capable with. And so that's stuff I want you guys to sit down this week and really just get real with yourself. It doesn't feel great all the time, but then you get to that vision and you go back to your other homework that you did on the vision of what you want and where you want to go and what you can, the visions that you've had. Guys, I had this vision to bring the fire of LifeVantage to Des Moines, Iowa, when I was in Orlando, Florida, for my first elite event. I had this vision, and it shooketh me. Okay, guys, it shook me. Like, I was in Orlando, and the first vision I had was that one of my friends, who was actually kind of mean to me at the time, and she's amazing now, she was like a hard no. And I had just gotten her on the product, and I was like, I called her when I was in Orlando, and I was like, I have a vision that you're going to be in Orlando with me next time there's an event here. And I didn't know that there was another event scheduled to be there, like within the year, but there was. And she was there. I had that vision, and I didn't know how it was going to happen, but it happened. And then the second vision I got when I was on that elite trip, that Elite Academy, which, again, like why I say you got to get to global, because those walls come down and you have those visions of, I don't know how, but it's going to happen. The other vision I had was, oh my goodness, nobody in Des Moines knows about this. Like, I'm one of the first. There are some people here, but like, I didn't know a soul here. Honestly, I didn't know a single person that knew about this opportunity in Des Moines. I've never seen LifeVantage hold events here. I said, I have a vision of bringing the flame here. It's going to happen. Guys, it took me, like, I keep saying 6 years. I don't know. It's been years. I don't remember when the 2016 to now, to actually have it happen, where there are 2 Pro 10s flying to Des Moines this week. And we are lighting that flame. Like, I get chills and tears and emotional thinking about that, because, guys, if I hadn't lived in that future self and worked like mad, even when I actually didn't believe that it could ever happen, it wouldn't have happened. And so I'm encouraging you now, even if you don't know how, believe in the why, that you can make it happen. Oh, and that self-reflection is everything. Okay, without further ado, because it's actually 8 o'clock and we have one more video to watch, I'm going to dive into that, and then we're going to reflect on our life work of last week with Megan and Corey. So I'm going to stop chatting, and I am going to go back to my screen share. We're going to do this one more time. Good? We good? Good. Aligning with our personas. This is a good one too. Ready, set?
Typically in business, when you hear the word persona, the tendency is to think of a buyer or a user persona in order to tailor the marketing and sales process to buying habits. However, when we refer to personas, we're coming from the place of understanding the business owner's persona and then helping the team align with that persona. This is important because you want to ensure that your customer lifecycle, also known as flow, conversion, and retention levers, is synced and in alignment with the owner persona. That's how customer trust is built. Saying exactly what you do and doing exactly what you say. Brandon Dawson says, if you want to inspire and gather others, you have to make their purpose your priority too. As a 10X employee, aligning yourself with your business owner's purpose and persona is critical to ensuring that you're contributing at your highest level of impact. This doesn't mean that you can't have your own identity or your own persona. It simply means you need to understand what persona the business needs to adhere to, and then you can fully contribute to that need. There are 4 types of owner personas. Let's review what to expect with each of them and how you can help contribute and align with them. But before we review each one, We want to be very clear that these personas are not ranked. One is not better than the other. One is not worse than the other. They're simply categories of effort and mindset. And as an employee, it's important to understand the differences of each. With that said, the first persona is known as a grinder. This persona values quantity over quality. These individuals move fast, make quick decisions, try things, revise, and try again. They focus a majority of their efforts in the flow category, working diligently to gain customer attention, get them in the door, on the phone, on a website, putting out as much effort as possible to move the customer down the funnel to the conversion lever category as quickly as possible. The second persona is called a professor. This persona values information and is process-driven. They believe in giving their customers as much information and education as possible, focusing a majority of their efforts on the conversion category. Once they have the customer's attention, they believe in comprehensive promotion of their products. Professors don't mind spending extra time with customers to ensure they have all the information they need to make a decision. The third persona is called a friend. This persona is driven by acceptance. They want to create a very comfortable experience for their customers, ensuring that the environment is welcoming and inviting. They avoid adhering to strict processes and customize unique experiences for their customers, even if that means not being able to duplicate the process. They truly believe in putting the customer first through the building of relationships. These efforts typically fall into the retention category for creating repeat customers because of these relationships. The fourth persona is known as an advocate. This persona is in pursuit of overall excellence. Their focus is around creating the ultimate customer experience that is also operationally sound for their business. They believe in the balance of the customer and the business and essentially divide their efforts amongst all three categories. Now let's focus on what it means for you to align with your business owner's persona. Depending on the type of persona your business owner chooses to focus on, you need to understand how each one plays a key role in the customer experience and how you need to adapt, react, and be able to contribute based upon that persona. For example, the business may use social media marketing from a friend persona, reflecting a very comfortable experience for your customers, and that means that any and all interactions that the customer has with your business should reflect this same persona. Nothing is more tragic for a business brand than that of inconsistency, saying one thing and then doing another. You should be laser focused on ensuring that your contributions to the overall customer experience completely align with that persona that is embodied by your business owner and marketed to your customers. This type of focus will demonstrate your willingness to align yourself to the business and dedication to being the example of a 10X employee.
Brandon Dawson says, if you want to inspire and gather others, you have to make their purpose your priority too. As a 10X employee, aligning yourself with your business owner's purpose and persona is crucial to ensuring you're contributing at your highest level of impact. This doesn't mean that you can't have your own identity or your own persona. It simply means that you need to understand what persona the business needs to adhere to, and then you can fully contribute to that need. In this activity, you'll be identifying the current owner persona in your business and how it aligns with your business's brand messaging and customer experience. Next, you'll document the efforts you'll contribute in order to ensure the process consistently occurs and the efforts you're making are fully aligned with your business's persona to the overall customer experience.
Okay, so I'm going to kind of wrap that one up with, there's a little bit of a difference with this 10X program. It's not a network marketing platform. So when they talk about a business owner, it looks a little bit different in network marketing, doesn't it? Because we are all our own boss, essentially, but we all want to be on the same page as we create this beautiful growing network, right? And so in this week, it's important to kind of look at what is that persona of LifeVantage and what do we want to duplicate? How do we want to duplicate that? What is the most effective? Because I can tell you, as I was going through this, there's been times in my business where we got so heavily stuck in the professor persona that we were just let's go to school, kids. And we were just talking about all the deep science and just going down all those deep things. And like, I'm telling you guys, when I first got started in this business, and I went down a rabbit hole for 6 months of studying all the research. I'm a nerd. And so when I get presenting in front of people, it is very easy for me to go nerding out. And I just like, oh, but you know what? Is that how I want to duplicate? Like, really? Can people do that? No. And then what I found happening was that people were going down the same 6-month rabbit hole of research, and most of them weren't actually researching. They were just putting it on the back burner and putting it on the back burner because I made it so complicated being a professor. I don't know about you, but that's not the persona that I want to continue to duplicate, right? But I still want people to be educated. I'm very, very passionate about that. And so as you go through these, start to like put in perspective, like how do we as LifeVantage want to be recognized? How does that owner want to look to our customers? And how, like, yeah, we want to be their friend because yeah, we're going to retain our customers. We have something that nobody else has. It's a gift to humanity. We can't just get them started and forget about them. We got to love on these people, right? We got to follow up with our people. I think that 90 days of follow-up is so crucial. And continuing to plug them into, you know, as one person, big difference, we have Vitality Living. Are you using it? Are you being the friend that brings the friends to the friendship? Guys, we have to do that, right? And so as you're going through this, like, how are you using these personas in each of these categories? In your brand message, in my brand message, I'm constantly putting people in that filter. Like, I'm kind of grinding that out. Like, I just want to get those, I'm sifting, sorting, getting people in, and then I'm gonna connect with them. And then I'm gonna give a little bit of education, and then I'm gonna connect them to the people. Like, we're kind of wanting to be the advocate for LifeVantage. Does that make the most sense? I'm not telling you what you have to write down, but I'm telling you, if we want to all try to be on the same page, how can we have a good balance of these beautiful personas that we all tend to fall into that category once in a while? So with that said, I hope that you guys take time this week to really just invest in yourself, read through these, highlight, do your activities, and just grow. Without further ado, I'm going to shift right into last week's training because it's so important that we talk through what we went through, right? That we learn and do and teach. And so I want to hand it directly over to Megan and Corey out of Minnesota. And guys, when we talk about trips, I want everybody to go on trips because I was able to connect with Megan and Corey personally on our trip to Cabo. And I'm telling you, they became some of my favorite humans. Like, I am so thankful for these guys and that they are in LifeVantage for their journey, like for everything that these two embody. And so I want to just hand it over to them and help you guys discuss what y'all went through this last week. I'm a couple weeks ahead of you, but it's going to be fun. And they have a lot of value to add and share, a lot of wisdom. They are our people. And so listen up to Megan and Corey, and I'm going to mute myself and let them take it away.
Hi, everybody. I'm Megan. This is Corey. Thank you so much, Amy. Gosh, that was amazing. I just feel fired up after I listened to you talk, and I could honestly listen to you talk all day long. I can't wait to rewatch this and take lots of notes because I was definitely just focused on listening. But we're excited to be here. I feel like my heart is beating really fast, but we're good. I'm really appreciative, I feel like, of these discussions after the discussion, just hearing everybody's thoughts and takeaways from the homework. I feel like this was a really good week for us homework wise. I'm not gonna lie, we've had a lot going on lately and I got a little behind, but this weekend got to take some time to just sit down and really think about, answers to all of this stuff. And the efficiency and effectiveness, I feel like, is perfect for us. This is something we honestly talk about in our house, I feel like, on a daily basis, just trying to figure out, what we can improve on. We, have 3 little boys. We're all home almost all of the time. Corey works from home. So we're just constantly trying to figure out like what we can do better. Things are always changing and moving and stuff. So it was just nice to sit down and really, think these answers through.
And I was just going to throw in real quick, just in looking back on the last week too, just everything from this weekend and then the last 20 years, I don't know how many of you follow Brandon Cunningham, who's going to be in Des Moines this week on Instagram, but he said something in a live that he did that was very powerful. I thought he talked about how, 20 years ago, where are you today? Are you where you wanted to be? Are you where you wished and imagined you'd be today? Are you achieving the things you thought you would achieve? And then he took it another step further and said, 20 years from now, what are you going to do to make sure you do the things that you want to do? How are you going to be effective and efficient to accomplish the goals that you have? And it also then tied into church on Sunday, them talking about numbering your days and what are you doing? And Brandon Cunningham, back to him, he talked about, we all sit down January 1st and write down our goals. And he's like, that's simply not an effective tool to get where you want to get. You need to do it on a daily basis. You need to reflect on what you're doing every single day to find your effective and efficiencies and just get better and better and better at everything you do. So without any further ado, we're going to throw it to the group. What are the goals that you are pursuing for the company? Anyone?
Maybe I'll just say first for us, I think rank advancing, but something we're really focusing on is growing ourselves in the personal development space. I feel like this 10X program could not have come at a better time for us. Just really taking the time to self-reflect and, reflect on, I guess, the past, but obviously going forward and where we want to be and where we see ourselves, just really so we're able to attract the people to us and able to empower them and mentor them as well, and just become better leaders. So if anybody has anything to share.
I will share. I think that for me, the goals I'm pursuing for this company, like Megan said, rank advancing. Of course, I want to get to Pro 6 as fast as possible, and then to elite distributor. And I think we all kind of feel that. But really, I kind of tried to look at it more granular and as far as doing ITT, doing 25, reaching out to 25 people a month and really making that consistent effort to reach that goal every month. And I'll be the first one to say I have not reached that goal every month. And that's something that I'm, always striving to do, is to reach 25 people and get them all the way through the process. So it's a work in progress.
I want to piggyback on that. Sorry.
Nope.
I love that Susie just said that, because guys, I think that something that I continuously am reminded of as we go through this program is that it is in those simple, basic ITT daily disciplines that we're doing that's going to get us to the ultimate goal. No matter what incentive is thrown out, no matter what crazy new thing is happening, we sometimes get caught up in those details when we have to stay in the foundation details, because our ultimate goal, our company is going to hit $1 billion. Are we going to be contributing to it or not? Are we going to be the ones that take it there? Because ultimately that's our company is going to hit that. We're going to be $1 billion company. Are we going to be the ones bringing in that volume? Yeah.
So I have one, Megan. So I wrote down, my initial response was Pro 12, one action and rank at a time. But really it's to live my best life, but that's to be a giver and not a taker, and just give to more people. And then international business I wrote down, because we're in 22 countries, almost 23, and we should have business in every country. So we're only limiting ourselves by not being consistent. That's what I got from this, is Michelle, stop it, be consistent. So yeah.
Awesome. That's great, Michelle. Let's roll into the next two and three. How if you have the right goals. We're going to put these together just in interest of time. And if you don't know who to ask, and I'm just going to start by piggybacking off of what was kind of said in this last thing, is that if we're doing the ITT piece as part of this goal of all being in the same thing, it allows you then to know that we're all doing the same things, cog in a wheel, And if you don't know, since you're all doing from ITT, we can all ask the same questions because we're all working through the same process. So that was what I kind of rolled out in those two, but let's hear what others have to say.
If we
Okay, I'll
don't
take a stab at this.
go,
Sorry. Okay. Okay, so mine kind of went with my number one. So I feel like my activities are aligned with my right goals for the business because right now with what I want to do is because I'm a coach a coach in life, real life. My love language is like empowerment, coaching others, training others, and trying to elevate others to the next level in fitness and nutrition. So that's what I've decided to take on for Leslie so that she can work on some other things. So it's like, I feel like I'm aligning my goals properly to assist her so that she can focus on something else where she can benefit the team, but also where I can take some of that, the coaching aspect, the training aspect off of her, because that's what I do every single day. And like, that's my passion. And that's like where my fire is. And, that's what my love language is. So I feel like that's aligning with what her goals are too, because that will assist her in reaching her goals, but the team is assisting their goals. Does that make sense?
That's amazing. Yes.
Absolutely. The teamwork aspect is very important. Yes. Anyone else?
I would like to go next if that's okay.
Go for it.
Can you guys hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect. So I know for myself, for self-reflection, things have been a bit wonky because I haven't been on all the calls, especially with the random move. I'm not in Canada right now. I'm in Florida, which is a big move, yeah. So yeah, I have to get caught up. I need to make sure that I'm following and doing the steps that lead into ITT because I haven't been on top of that and I have been slacking. So it's time to pick up the pace and do what I need to do. And major goal, daily disciplines that get me to Pro 3, but I need to get past 1 first. And lastly, the goal, and a second goal, the homework. It's absolutely beneficial and I've been getting caught up. I just need to count out exactly which week I'm on, but definitely manifestations is the last piece that I've touched base on, and it's a lot of work. And I love it. I love it. And if I ever have any questions, I will reach out to anybody on the team just because, hey, we all work together. We can all talk to each other just to get where we need to be. Some people fall behind and just, you guys have laid a ladder to get up. So I'm getting there.
Awesome.
Okay, should we roll the next one?
Yeah. What?
Okay, so now, how is your performance being measured and what is your overall impact? How do you know that it is effective and efficient? How do you know if you're being effective and efficient? Does anyone have anything they want to share in that area? How you're measuring whether you're being effective and efficient, kind of a combination of 5 and 6.
Well, mine is a network marketing answer, promotions and paychecks, right? That's the real measurement, like yours and theirs. So if you can have people make money, even if it's 40% or 30% or whatever they choose for their auto ship, they feel good when they get the check. So it's all about paychecks and promotions.
Yep, those numbers work.
I think going back to like how many people are actually tracking the 25 people they talk to every month and getting them initiated in the ITT. Like what I said before is what you track grows. And I'm going to be the first first to admit that I am terrible at tracking, but when I do it, it changes things. And if you stay plugged in with this, we're going to get more in the nitty gritty of the key performance indicators. And hopefully we can get an alignment of what we really need to be looking at month over month. And is it growing? But staying focused on that performance. If I am not getting 25 people through that ITT, how in the world am I going to get to my next rank? It can't happen.
Absolutely.
I totally agree with that. Like, I am not the best at organization either, but I do know that when I have it written out and when it's right in front of me on a whiteboard or on my fridge, I have the tracker for the month of September for the activation energy stack points and the premier pack points, triple points on my fridge. Because if I see it every day, it's going to motivate me more to reach those goals. And so that's something that's been huge for me. And it's just a little thing, right? Like, it's really not a huge step, but having that visual picture of your goals and getting to that, it's been like one of the biggest differences for me. So I highly recommend that.
I love that so much, having things printed off, especially for what's going on during the month. Yes. Any sort of promotion and incentive, always having it in front of you, putting something on your phone. How many times are you looking at your screen every single day to put it onto your phone to keep that intention there, where you want to go? Why do you want to do it? What is it going to do to impact your business? I was watching, if you are in Performance Club, we've got some stuff going on in there for Eric Worre training today. And they were just talking again about going for every single promotion. Go for every single promotion. That includes Performance Club. That includes, the triple points to bucket list place. All these different things, going for, the 5 for 5. Is it always going to happen? Maybe not. It's not going to always happen, but are you working towards it, right? We're working towards it, and you get your eye on the prize. Yes. And Stu Brody taught us from the very beginning, and he still says it on the Monday morning motivational calls, which are at 11 o'clock Central every single Monday with Carrie Dickey. They are phenomenal if you don't know about them, and Stu always sends the replay out. So one of my things every single Monday, if I couldn't listen to it live, I had to listen to the replay that day. It was just one of those things, but he always would say 2 a day every day, 2 a day every day, 2 a day every day, 2 a day every day. And then he also would end the call many times and say, see you on the beaches of the world. And I didn't know Stu at all. And I'm like, okay, that would be nice. I would love to be on the beaches of the world with you as well. We'll see. And then I never will forget, you guys, when that truly started happening. And I say it to him every time that we're on the beaches. I'm like, you used to tell me you'd be on the beaches of the world. I had no idea who you were, but you said do 2 a day, every day, 2 a day, every day. Show up, get your energy high, be excited, be passionate. It's all about the person in front of you. Listen. So when he said 2 a day, every day, I'm like, okay, I don't know what the heck I'm doing, but I'm going to do 2 a day. So I took whiteboard paint, painted our entire back wall of our bathroom, because in our bathroom, we've got the 2 sinks. And then when I'm, brushing my teeth or getting ready, my goals or the 2 people that I was going to be talking to were right behind me. So in the morning, I'd be walking in and I would see everything. I'd see the goals. I'd see what's going to happen at nighttime, washing face, doing all the stuff. There it is. And then several times throughout the day. So every single night before I would go to bed, I would write down 2 new names, 2 people that I was going to speak to the next day. And it actually didn't hit me until we talked about this at Life Vantage Academy training this past month. And then Cassie Teal, who is an elite distributor in Sioux Falls, said one of her takeaways was that, and she said, I thought it was just so powerful that you were talking about knowing the people's names before you went to bed. So as you're going to bed, you're thinking about them, you're knowing what's going to happen. What are you laughing about, Kibra? What are you guys laughing about? Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm like, what am I saying? And so it was really, really powerful. And you guys, it was my commitment to myself that I was going to do 2 a day, every single day. And I just made, and 2 sounds doable, right? Even in those really, really busy days, 2 is doable. And if I could do more, guess what? Heck yeah, I was going to do more. But on those crazy, crazy days, 2-a-day. And I did have 1 or 2 times where I would get in bed at night and I was like, uh-oh, I didn't get a hold of the 2. So I made myself get out of bed and go message those people before I went to bed. I didn't obviously get them because it would be late at night, but I made sure I made that commitment to myself. So sorry, I went a little bit long there, but if you can just commit to 2-a-day every day, and that'll flow right along as well with the 25 ITT and the, oh, look what Amy just did. You guys look at the screen with Amy Dippold. She just put 2-a-day every day on her screensaver there. That is so good. Okay, well, sorry, Megan and Corey, I kind of rambled a little bit, but
Oh, that was really good. That's really good to think about, the going or knowing who you're going to talk to the next day before you go to bed. But yes, maybe we'll just jump in. I think there's one more question here and then we'll go over to the.
Can I say one thing real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes.
So 2-a-day. So what I do is I pull up Facebook and I look at my birthdays, and I actually built a database of everyone I know and their birthdays. So I never run out of people to talk to, because I literally start with birthdays every day. It's what I always do, wishing them birthdays. Then I call everyone I know, I text everyone I know, I send cards to people, and I never run out of prospects.
Yes, and I love the other tips that others have had on just birthdays. I mean, just in birthdays alone, you can have your 2-a-day and
Yeah.
personal with audio messages instead of just a text message or cards. I mean, it's all right there, organized and ready to go. So it's just so good. So we're going to move into abilities to close things out here real quick. I just want to hear from a few people an ability you think that you're strong in, and then an ability that you need to grow in, just to be a little vulnerable.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go because no one's going. So you don't talk, I get to. So recruiting is my number one skill. Social media, administration, building culture, and sales. And what I need to work on is financial management and not being, I would say, I'm not gonna use that word. How would I say it in a positive way? Living within my means. So those are the 2 things I need to work on.
Awesome.
And they're no fun to work on.
Anybody else?
May I? If I can. Okay, so for ability strengths, I make a ridiculously long list of things that I believe I need to do in a day. And they range from most important, most urgent to complete time killers. What's under development, I wouldn't call it a weakness, but I'd say what's under development is just me, like pretty much organizing all of my actions so that I can take intentional actions toward my goals. Because I find that I get distracted and just pulls me away from work or what I need to actually focus on and give my undivided attention. So that's weakness / something that's under development that I believe is those things I need to be working on.
That's very smart. I'm going to have to do that. I do make long lists, but I need to prioritize because a lot of it is not important in the moment.
A mentor of mine told me when you actually get aligned with those actions, when you know what you're doing and you just stick with it, you just feel that you're going to be that more fulfilled. So only focus on the payout of just going all the way and doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And we're working on that right now. And it's actually amazing that we're talking about this right now because I'm just working from 2 angles.
Awesome. Thank you. Maybe one or 2 other people.
I'll share, Megan.
Awesome.
Okay, so my number 1 is learning, studying, compiling information. I am a freak when it comes to having my head in books, research, etc. Like, I love it. The only problem is I'm like, Heber, what did you just do with that 4 hours of information that you just sponged up? Are you sitting on it? Are you making a live? Are you doing a post? Are you contacting somebody that needs that information? Like, what are you doing with it? Because you just got 4 hours worth of fantastic studying in. Now what? So it's like, I have to like be intentional about taking that information out into the community. You know what I mean? Like I have to make myself get uncomfortable in the spaces that make me uncomfortable and get the information out. But it's like, I need to take something that I'm really passionate about and step into that area of discomfort so that other people receive that value too. Otherwise, it's not valuable. Because one thing my dad has always told me, he's like, people are always saying knowledge is power. Knowledge is not power. What you do with the knowledge can be powerful. Because if you sit on it, it's not powerful, is it? No, you're just sitting on it. So that's one thing that I have to really work on, is taking that knowledge out into the community and making it powerful.
So I have to say something, Kibra, to that, because I heard an analogy. I don't know if anybody's ever gone to GoPro or listened to GoPro, but it's something that Sean and Michelle highly encouraged when I was getting started. And I'm like an avid believer that this is like outside of our company's events. This is a non-negotiable for me as well. And at one of the events, oh no, it's my name. Oh my goodness, Fraser Brooks. Woo! It's the end of the night. Fraser Brooks stood up on stage and he did the best presentation that, yes, woo, books of him. He did the best discussion of how to apply what we're learning. I'll never forget it because it's like walking forward, left foot, right foot. You learn, and then you have to take an action and earn, and you learn and you earn. And if you're just learning with one left foot, he like spins himself in a circle up on stage. He's spinning in a circle. It's like, I'm just learning. You're gonna walk around in a circle. And if you're just out there, ignorance on fire, and you're not learning and you're just blabbing it out and you're just trying to earn, you're gonna spin yourself in the other circle. You have to take each step forward each time. I will never forget that analogy because I was cracking up so hard watching that guy on stage walk around in circles with his big feet. And I will always kick myself when I get into one of those modes and start putting right foot, left foot forward.
Awesome. Thank you, Amy. Maybe just to close it out, if anybody has one last takeaway, this summary piece of the homework that you would want to share, and then we can definitely wrap it up. Or we can definitely wrap it up.
I will share. I'll share. So one of the biggest things I kind of already shared was just the updating my vision, like my vision board. I got, again, more granular with what I wanted as far as my goals, and just to update that even more. I mean, I made a vision board at the beginning of the year. I wanted to update it and get more in tune with what I wanted as far as my goals. And so I put some more up on there, as well as, like I said, the whiteboard, having the stuff on the fridge, the tracker on the fridge for me was really important. And then for me also having, and I think this is more, I think as far as 10X goes, we'll get a little bit more into this later, but the mission statement of like why we do what we do, right? I mean, we can go on lifevantage.com and look at the mission statement of the company. And if you like read that every day, of course, when you reach out to someone, that's really going to you're really going to be more clear on why you're doing what you're doing, or even just focus on your why, having your why in front of you every day, pictures of your family, or whatever it is you need to see to make sure that you're always working for that purpose. And I think that's important.
Absolutely. Thank you, Susie. I know I'm a visual person too. We definitely need more visuals, I feel like, around our house. So those are some great ideas. If anybody has anything else, otherwise, thank you for having us. And this was lots of fun.
It's always great hearing everyone else to share, and it's just been wonderful. So thank you, Sean, Michelle, for everything. It's been great on this. And Amy, great job tonight.
Billy says hi.
All right, guys, what do you say to Megan and Corey and Amy tonight? Thank you guys so much for your time, your energy, your love, your support, your ideas, everything. We are all better together. So let's You guys, that life work is in Telegram. It's on Facebook. Go print it out. The transcripts are there. You know, do little bits and pieces, you know, however, whatever works for you, immersion all at once or bits and pieces, but it is some good stuff this week. And it has several printouts. So you don't want to wait till the last minute. You deserve this for yourself. And it definitely is impactful. And thinking about, as far as customers and all that go to, think about the power of, you know, retention and these customers and then your distributors of, you know, they come into your business today and then in 10 years, they're still ordering, they're still raving fans. So it's really, we're so blessed with this profession. So make sure tomorrow night, it's Tuesday, we've got the Flip the Switch. Sioux Falls on Wednesday, we've got Amy Homewood. I know in Arizona, they've got Seth Mulder, Seth and who else? Seth and is it somebody, Seth and somebody else? And then Saturday, we've got Life Vantage Academy, as you all know. And anyway, you heard all the announcements, but just want to make sure we close that out. And then Thursday night, the opportunity calls. So we love you guys so much. Good night, peace. And let's make sure to get our 2 in today. Okay, 2 a day every day, 2 a day every day. Love you. Good night. Thank